Here to present the Disney Spirit Award, the Vice President of Disney Sports, Kaden Kelso.
The Disney Spirit Award is given annually to college football's most inspirational figure. Now, traditionally, this award has gone to an individual, but this year, a story came out that took us in a different direction. One of our company's favorite Walt Disney quotes is, "You can dream, create, design, and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it requires people to make that dream a reality." This year's recipient is all about the people in Iowa City who have made college football a little more magical. Tom Rinaldi has the story.
They came to the 12th floor for a gesture, or a motion, or a sign. But they received something more, a moment.
It's almost like a wave of hope, like you're not in this on your own.
It's a salute to those kids and to their parents and the family members. It just kind of brings it all home, what is important.
It started September 2nd.
It's time to start a new tradition here at Kinnick. And let's give a big Hawkeye wave to all the kids watching the game.
A new tradition where Iowa fans at the end of the first quarter turn away from the field at Kinnick Stadium and wave to those watching from across the street. Patients looking down from the Stead Family Children's Hospital. One of the faces they might see in those windows was Daxon Fippen, 17 years old, fighting to recover from cranial surgery.
Even during the whole surgery, I was super calm. I thought he's gonna go in, he's gonna come out. And then he came out and he couldn't dress, he couldn't get out of bed, he couldn't use his hands. And I had a lot of fear.
A few days later, with Daxon now conscious but his recovery slow, he found motivation in thinking of the view from those windows.
He was super discouraged that day. And then he looked out the window and he said, "At least Saturday's coming." And then he just snapped right out of it.
Being able to have that game to look forward to all week, that definitely helped with being able to make the days go by a little bit faster and easier, I guess.
Do you see the letter I for Iowa? I-O-W-A.
In another window, fans might have seen 4-year-old Sam Davidson and his mother Courtney. What they couldn't see was Sam's battle against a brain tumor and his cycles of chemotherapy.
I don't think he understands the word cancer, and so we haven't really used that a whole lot. The chemotherapy is four or 5 days, and then we receive his stem cells. And then we recover, waiting for his blood counts to come up, and that's 4 cycles of that.
All right, here we go. Oh, great job.
But on a fall Saturday, it isn't about radiation or IVs. It's about celebration and anticipation.
For all that he's endured and gone through, Sam wanted to find a spot right up front. It was pretty cool.
Sam might not know it, but he means more to Iowa's head coach than he could ever imagine.
This is a tough subject for me. Nobody plans on a visit to the kids' hospital. It's just, it's not something you schedule or want to go through.
The Ferentz family has been through it. In 2014, Kirk and Mary Ferentz lost their granddaughter, Savvy, who was born prematurely at Iowa Children's at just over 21 weeks.
We knew it was too early. You try to stop labor, but they were unable to. Savvy was born, and she survived for 2 days. And to see my son and daughter-in-law in such pain, and it couldn't do anything for it. That was probably the lowest moment.
This past summer, Kirk and Mary made $1 million donation to the hospital to create a program in neonatal research. After talking with Savvy's mother, Nikki, the family named the program in the baby's honor. The next couple of questions, Kirk, are hard.
Yep.
Because they revolve around the origin of the donation.
Yep.
It's been a couple of years, and you know, there'll always be an empty spot where Savvy was supposed to be. I mean, she's very much a part of our family, a part of our life. And I think the best thing was when I talked to Nikki. She goes, our biggest fear is that Savvy's memory will dim, and now it won't.
So, when 70,000 turn away from the field and toward the windows, when they raise their arms and move their hands, it's a moment, and it means more than we know.
You see it and the flood of people looking back at you. It was more emotional than anything, realizing that they were thinking about us.
To me, it's just such a nice way for 70,000 people to recognize some really special people. The real heroes are up there.
It's more than just a wave. It's a lot more. It's life-changing for all of the patients here.
It is with great pride, as I myself am a native of the state of Iowa, to present this year's Disney Spirit Award to the University of Iowa football program, its fans, and the Stead Family Children's Hospital.
Coach Ferentz, Josh Jackson, and Kaden Kelso. Josh, I'm going to begin with you. You're absorbed in a game. You're competing at the highest level. These handful of Saturdays are what you get for a year's worth of work. The first time the wave happened, what went through your mind?
You know, it's a really remarkable situation that is going on up there, and being able to, play in front of the kids and just be a role model of them and just give them inspiration and hope is really what makes my Saturdays really great to play.
Kirk, we spoke in the fall. We see your emotion then, and we see it now. Why?
Well, this thing has just really been so neat and so it's unbelievable. I think probably the best thing, it's really organic. Just the hospital opened up last winter, right next to the stadium. A mother of three, Krista Young in Anita, Iowa, came up with the idea in May, and this thing has just grown into an unbelievable tradition. So I think the best thing as a coach, it just reminds all of us involved in college football how fortunate we are, not special. And the special people are really people like this young man right here, Kaden. Their families, all the people that work to help them so much, the nurses, doctors, everybody at the hospital, not only ours, but children's hospitals all over the world.
Been a great benefactor yourself and your wife, Mary, and others have now followed suit since the tradition happened. Kaden Kelso, a perspective that none of us can really share. You were being treated at Iowa Children's for a tumor in your lung. How long were you there?
17 days exactly.
When you were there, what was your fear?
I never really had the concept in my mind of dying, so that wasn't my fear. My fear was just that, like, the surgery could go bad and I could end up there for a little bit more longer than I already was.
The first time you went to the windows on a Saturday, what did you see?
I just saw everybody up there appreciating us and looking at all the patients around waving at us, and it was amazing.
Perhaps more amazing, let people know, what news did you get after the surgery?
That I was cancer-free.
And then, Kaden, you had the opportunity to do something remarkable, to go from one side of the window to the other. You went to an Iowa game. I could see even in your face right now. What did the experience mean at the end of the first quarter?
It was just really amazing to see. It was just really emotional, being able to look back over there and experience the wave and wave back to the children.
What message were you sending them, Kaden?
That I hope they all recover from their surgeries and their illness. I'm just happy that they all chose me to represent them.
At Stead Family Children's Hospital, they are watching us right now. So if you would indulge us, on behalf of the four of us here, we're going to swing the camera around. And for everybody in this hall tonight, if you would, raise your hand and give a wave. There'll be more from the College Football Awards here at Atlanta when we return.